everybody, it's me, Walter, and we have a lot to talk about. Angry in the middle here, and I know I don't look as angry, and I'm in the middle. I'm not as angry, hey, what's up, Steph? I'm not as angry as many folks out there, apparently. They just showed like thousands of people are gathering in Minneapolis. A whole bunch of folks were in New York City the last couple nights. Donald Trump is inspiring lots of protests, right? A lot of young people. I just saw somebody say that the millennials are upset that Donald Trump won and that their voice wasn't heard. Their voice was heard, but many of you stayed home, so that's part of the problem. Also, many of the African Americans in certain places in Florida stayed home. The Obama coalition just did not come out. And then many of the people that voted for Obama in 2012 and 2008 voted for Trump. F the millennials. But you know, you can't blame any one group of people. So what we need to do, I think Obama hit it on the nail. Nailed it. I hit it on the head. We got to move on. We got to say, okay, we could do the protest thing. We could do the petition and try to get the Electoral College, I guess, to vote for Hillary on June 6th, right? That might happen. It probably won't happen, but that might happen. Chances are, because the Republican Electoral College are not the moderates that went for Trump, most Republican electoral electors are probably more traditional right-wing Republican electors. So it's not like you're appealing to people that were moderate, educated, that last minute flipped a coin. I'm not blaming anyone. I want people to recognize, yeah. Oh, I see what you're saying. Yeah. I see. Okay. Yeah. A lot of people are upset. I spent so much time being upset Tuesday night, and mixed with just enough tequila that I woke up, and I haven't done a lot in the last 2 days, so I can't say I've been able to go out and be productive as a citizen, but I basically have stayed at home and talked to clients and booked contracts and stuff like that for future comedy shows where I will hopefully spread some laughter. But we got to address two sides of what's going on. The protesters, I think protest is good. We need protest, right? I think we do need protest. If you're angry, take to the streets and tell the world. Take to Twitter, take to Facebook, right? But we need to kind of chill out with the hate. Glad you hung with me that night. Yeah, we were on. We were out. I was on for 3.5 hours on Tuesday.
I fell asleep and they left me to watch the results.
Well, I was like 1:30 in the morning, and I had a lot of tequila.
Right before that.
I had a lot of tequila. It was about 1:30 in the morning.
Me before we had the final results.
No, I fell asleep. I woke up in the morning, but the results were pretty clear what was going to happen.
Yeah, you left
when I went to, no looting. I'd go to the streets, protest. That's what America is about. And you know what I'd like to say to the KKK, to the racists, to the alt-right and all the assholes and morons out there? I'm not talking about everybody that voted for Trump. I'm talking about the assholes and the morons, the KKK, the alt-right, the absolute bigots, and your shitty little kids that are out there harassing Hispanic and Muslim students at school today. Kids blocking, I think it was in Michigan, right? Blocking a Latina or someone they thought was Latin and wasn't, but they looked a little dark-skinned, right? I think they ended up being Italian or something. They weren't even Latin, they weren't even Hispanic, but they were blocked from getting to their lockers in classrooms, right? Is this like 1960 whatever Mississippi all over again? Are we back? We had this whole civil rights thing in the 50s and 60s, right? LBJ has come and gone. And what you assholes and morons need to realize, Donald Trump is not your free ticket to be an asshole and a moron. Donald Trump is not your free ticket to be a racist, to be homophobic, to be anti-Semitic. Right? Because he lied to your sorry asses to get voted into the office. He lied to your face to get voted. I get mistaken for Hispanic. Oh, I'm European ancestry. Yeah. Well, it was the Ancestors.com, right? The woman who thought she was Latina. Oh, excuse me, I'm so tired. It's been a very stressful week. Went over to Ancestry.com, did the blood test, did the DNA thing, and she's like everything, right? She's English, she's Spanish, blah, blah, blah. I'm mostly Northern European, German, French, English, mostly Scottish and Irish.
You're English too?
There's a little English in there somewhere. There's a little bit of everything in there.
You said it very sexual.
I know, on purpose. There's a little Irish.
I'll leave it alone.
I'm getting a little creepy. Oh God, thank you. You were the first white that actually aren't Trump cloned. Yeah. Well, there are a lot of white people that don't like Trump. There are a lot of white people that aren't racist. And he went out and told people it was okay to be horrible. Well, yeah, okay. I'm not saying, they are being this way. They are acting like it's the 1950s and 60s all over again because of all the shit that Donald Trump said.
Where are they?
Where are they? Yeah.
Oh,
They are all out there emboldened by what Donald Trump said. Donald Trump needs to come forward immediately and say, this is unacceptable behavior. I am calling upon the real Donald Trump. Will the real Donald Trump please stand up and take some fucking responsibility for the shit you have unleashed on this country? Because I firmly believe that you didn't mean half the shit that you said. Still voted for Hillary because the shit you said was just incorrigible. But I honestly believe that half, if not all the shit you said, everything but trade, I pretty much think you said, including the shit about Obamacare, right? Because if you take Obamacare from all those folks in Michigan and Wisconsin that voted for you, they're voting you out in 4 years. I mean, you can replace it with something. But if you leave them, the reason they voted for Obama is because he promised them healthcare reform. Obamacare probably wasn't the right direction, or at least an imperfect direction.
it worked for some people.
I've been saying that, but by him being quiet, it makes it look like he condoning the racist. Correct. And I don't know if he's condoning it, but until he comes out and denounces it, it's his fault. It is his fault that these assholes and morons, because oh, okay. Woo, gotta be careful. He's president-elect now. You can't have those kinds of threats now, right? Right. The Affordable Health Care Act has not been affordable. I actually had a year where I was on Obamacare. Now, I'm not going to get into details, but and the reason the rates are going up so high is one of the biggest reasons Hillary lost. The Republicans with Donald Trump will be able to pass something through. I don't know if it's going to be better, but I think, the Democrats had a couple years. They fixed a lot of problems that Bush left behind with his wars, right? And they had 2 years. They kind of fixed a lot. And then 6 years of deadlock. We haven't had huge growth, but we've had slow, steady growth, which I think is amazing. Now, if you're somebody who sits at home and your entire income is based on your 401k growing, 1% a year is not a good thing. But 1% growth every year for 6 years, at 6% growth, it's nothing to get excited about, right? But it's not massive inflation. It's not causing prices to go up. Because when people are like, okay, we want 10% growth, we want 10% growth every year, and then they complain that their milk is double the price in 5 years. They complain, but rice is expensive, and lettuce is expensive, and tomatoes is expensive. You know what's really expensive? When your 10% bubble crashes and everybody's fucking house is worth shit. That's expensive. That's why we're in debt, because the bailout. Everyone's like, oh my God, we're in so much more debt because of Obama. Well, the bailout that they felt they had to do to stop the bleeding, right? We had to stop the bleeding caused by the recession from the assholes in Wall Street. And all that being said, you still get shitheads like Wells Fargo. Every time I fucking see that commercial for Wells Fargo, I fucking lose my top.
They ruined the music, man.
No, oh yeah, is it the Wells Fargo theme? Oh, yeah, the Wells Fargo wagon is fucking everyone. Fuck, 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 fuck. Yeah, no scandals from Obama. No sex scandals. No sex scandals from Obama's White House, right? The right wing, nut jobs, the Breitbart types, Stephen Bannon types, assholes, tried to do some like stories, but Teflon. But not Teflon because the way Donald Trump is Teflon, right? Donald Trump is a shit for brains asshole that somehow everything bounced off. But you know why? You know why? Because there are a lot of people out there that do feel DC is fucked up. The GOP and the DNC brought this upon themselves. As well as scary shit ahead of people are allowed to behave like they are now. Yeah. I don't think it's going to last. I don't think it's going to last. I think at some point...
That have been harassing Trump supporters, and Trump supporters are complaining about that, too.
Yeah. Well, here's the thing.
I mean, that's happened on both sides, but as far as I know, the protests have been peaceful.
Yeah, the protests have been peaceful.
They have not been disruptive.
But of all the people out there, and there are racist, bigoted assholes writing swastikas, right, and blocking kids from getting to class and calling kids the N-word. There was a woman who I think was Asian or something like that. She wasn't Mexican or anything like that. And a bunch of shitty white kids yelled at her, "Hey, we're building that wall. You should go back to your country." Like, you know what I hate about stupid racists? You know, it's bad enough that you start being racist, but then, you know, it's a white person with a tan. Moron.
Uneducated idiots. Just fucking ignorant.
So, but here's the thing. Equally to blame for all this are all you liberals going out there saying all Republicans are racist, that all of them are the problem, that all of them equally part of the problem. Equally part of the problem, all the conservatives saying all liberals just want a handout. Equally part of the problem. One big fire that we're all fueling. Yeah. Both sides have to put an end to the rhetoric, have to put an end. I'm not saying end the fight. There is a fight to be fought, right? There is a fight to be fought. But there's so much substance to fight about. There's so much important shit to be done. I voted for Hillary. But you know what, though? It wasn't a flip of the coin for me in the booth. But there were times, even with weeks to go, that I was like, I'm not left wing. I'm not somebody who feared Trump as much as many did. Right? I voted for Hillary, but I'm right of center most of the time. But I'm also not right of center. In fact, I voted straight Democratic ticket. I'm GOP that voted straight. The Comey letter didn't bug me because the Comey letter said nothing. But there's a part of me that always thought what Donald Trump, not what he stands for based on all the shit he said the last 18 months, but the reason why a lot of people want him to go to D.C. and fuck D.C. up, right? It's almost like sending Rocky.
Anti-establishment, and they think he's but
right.
He is establishment. He is everything about him.
I am like mildly anti-establishment enough to say maybe Donald Trump is the answer. I was very Bernie Sanders friendly, and I'm not socialist. You know, like, because, you know what I mean? It's coming from that place where it's not a horrible thing to send an outsider to DC, right? Sending somebody to DC that is not part of the DC elite. I don't like the term elite, but you know what? I don't think Donald Trump was 100% right about the New York Times, but he wasn't 100% wrong either. The Washington Post, the New York Times, the Huffington Post, the LA Times. It's not a liberal agenda, but they're using the media as a weapon.
Hey, Jazz.
Hey, what's up, guys? Sending people to Trump rally to cause fights is twisted. There was twisted shit on both sides. There's a lot of shit that people aren't talking about. But what's that? Sean King. Read at Sean King, ShaunKing, a daily news reporter. And he's just retweeting instances of bigotry and hate. And Gary Johnson could have made everyone happy. I don't think so.
He's kind of...
Only if you brought enough pot to the party. The only way Gary Johnson's making anybody happy is falling out of a chair. I don't talk to my pundit man. I'm Gary Johnson. Right? Gary Johnson. See, here's the problem. Like, everybody, there was no good choice. There was no good choice. You know why Donald Trump won? Because Hillary Clinton is damaged goods. And even, you know, people are like, oh my God, she won the popular vote. Not by that much. Not by that much. Like, it's such a toss of the coin. I respect all the women out there that were basically all in for Hillary because they really need a woman president. Right? She's more than twisted goods, yeah.
I don't agree. I think...
no, you know...
She would be held out.
Part of the problem with Hillary Clinton...
They would have done everything they possibly could to topple her if because she...
No.
Simply because she's a woman.
Hillary Clinton, and what I don't want to have here, and I'm going to fight you if you bring it up, Hillary Clinton is far from perfect, but 90 to 95% of the shit that the right wing says about her is bullshit. Bullshit. Hillary Clinton was senator for 6 years. She was Secretary of State for 4 years. She was white, like First Lady for 8 years. She's been part of the system. I don't think she's been the problem, though. Yeah, thank you. You know what, though? How many women did? He didn't lose by that much with the female vote. So the women, let's find out why Donald Trump is president. 50%, 49% of the women in Florida were okay with the pussy grabbing thing, right? Like the American president, Mivy. That's right. I know what you're saying. But 49%, not enough to pay the rent. It's from a song a musical I helped write once.
They did, but they secretly went in and voted for Trump.
49% of women in Florida voted for Trump. Trump, overwhelming. But you know, here's the thing. Trump did pretty much the same exact numbers as Mitt Romney in 2012. You want to blame somebody? So you can't blame those people. And you know why it's 49% of the women voted for Trump? Because all the women that were going to vote for Hillary stayed home. And it could be a simple thing that there were so many people that said, listen, they're saying that Hillary's got this, fuck it. I'm going to go stay at home and drink. There's a good chance that the reason Donald Trump is president today, Donald Trump is deplorable. And many of his supporters are as well. Not all of them. But you know what? There are quite a few deplorable supporters of Hillary Clinton too. There are people out there that will take advantage. You know, there are people protesting all kinds of wonderful things all the time. Well, horrible things. They're protesting stuff all the time. And you know what? There are people out there that want them to suffer because you know why? They profit off of their suffering. Left-wingers. I'm not talking about the right-wing nut jobs, the Breitbarts, the Alex Jones. I'm talking about there are left-wing folks out there in the so-called clergy and the so-called, and they're out there in the name of justice, fighting for things, right? But they are profiting off of your pain. The lobbyists. There's this whole industry out there of people. I know as an actor, in the acting business, there's a whole industry of people that profit off of my hopes and dreams. My hopes and dreams of becoming an actor. So all the people that want to charge me an arm and a leg, way overcharged for photographs to get my headshots, right? These websites that say, ooh, join this website and maybe you'll get cast in something, right? Or all these different things. There's these industries around the acting business that make a lot more money than most actors I know, just being on the fringe. And their whole profit system is based on my hopes and dreams, and the hopes and dreams of thousands of actors. Well, for every politician out there that's kind of sketchy, there's probably a dozen or more lobbyists and profiteers. But you know what really makes me sick? It's not even so much. It's not even so much that the media is liberally slanted. See, I'm smart enough. I can watch MSNBC, and I can have the filter of the garbage, right? But even since, do I trust the media? No, I don't trust anybody blindly. Do you trust Alex Jones? Do you trust Donald Trump? Do you trust anybody blindly? Then you're a fucking moron. No, I'm not saying that's who you are. I don't trust anybody. But I listen to everybody. And I don't assume that everybody is trying to pull one over on me. I have enough intelligence to watch and say, ooh, that is clearly regurgitating the talking points from Hillary's camp.
Well, it's
when
entertainment value.
Yeah, but when people, it's not just entertainment value. They're trying. It's like the entertainment value. That's like the producing side of it.
Donald Trump is a ratings boost for everybody.
Ratings boost. I mean, Morning Joe is like the #1 morning show now because of all the time they gave Donald Trump, and then Donald stopped going on there because they were taking him to task. But at the same time, Joe Scarborough, Mika Brzezinski from day one said, "You guys, this shit's gonna happen. This shit's gonna happen." And and I don't even think it's not even so much. I read all the New York Times articles, not all of them. I don't read that much really, but I heard about them. I watch a lot of more liberally slanted news because I can't sit through Fox News. They're both bullshit. I could sit through the liberal bullshit more than the conservative bullshit at this stage of the game. Mostly because I tend to lean right. And I want to know what the other side's saying. I think if you always listen to Fox News, if you always watch Fox News, if you always listen to Alex Jones or Rush Limbaugh or Mark Levine and you name it. Oh my God, Mark Levine's got a TV show right now. There's a reason we have radio. You really shouldn't be on TV. It's not that I should be in, whatever. I'm a character actor. But they drop leaflets out to spray the enemy. This happens here also. But no, there's a lot of shit out there to sway the enemy. I don't know what that statement is. It's like a non-statement. The people, through the media, but both sides do it. See, to say that it's all liberal is such an ignorant bullshit statement from anyone. I'm sorry. But here's the problem. The reason it works is because of the morons at home that listen to it. I watch it. And then I sift through it and I can make my own decisions. I can watch an hour of MSNBC and I can hear, and then I watch some other things also. And anything that everybody says, if both pundits on both sides, right? But here's the problem is, it's media, it's not news. It's not news. Oh, I can decipher, don't worry. I'm more intelligent than most.
What? That's very much.
Oh, I am. It's not about modesty. No. I'm not trying to be I'm not trying to be a braggart either. I have better mental faculties than most, and I have a very healthy distrust. See, here's the thing. I have a healthy distrust, but I don't let my distrust turn to hate. I don't let my distrust turn to fear. Does that make sense? I think the problem is people are out there, oh my God, it's all like the conspiracy nuts, right? It's all, but the problem is the conspiracy nuts have become like a virus. That's very true. But that's very true on both sides. And Donald, did you vote for Trump? And what radio program do you listen to regularly? Are you an Alex Jones, a Rush Limbaugh, a Sean Hannity regular? Oh, thank God. Yeah, radio's the worst. And again, I'll just try it. No, okay. See, now here's the problem, Donald. There are just as many, or if not more. And here's the problem. Here's the real problem. And I could say this about so many things. Here's a problem. One of the big problems. Yeah, Alex is crazy. He's a nut job. There's about 20 million people out there. We have a country of 300 plus million people, right? Let's say there's 200 million that are eligible to vote. And maybe 100 million of those actually do vote, right? For 30 to 50%. It was higher. It's higher during the presidential years, yada, yada, yada. Out of those 200 million, about 20 million people religiously listen to right-wing extremist radio. And then those 20 million people go out there and say a lot of stupid shit, and they call in tears to Mark Levine saying, oh my God, the whole country's falling apart. I don't know what we're going to do if this crazy criminal becomes president. What are we going to do? What are we going to do? I actually listened to Mark Levine about 3 or 4 weeks ago for about an hour. I was like, I stayed listening. It's almost like one of those horror movies at 2 a.m. on TV that's so bad you can't turn away. Like, how bad is this going to get? And every once in a while I have that kind of curiosity. But here's what happens. Those 20 million people go out there and they spew a lot of stupid shit. They're the ones that are saying Jew-USA at the rallies, right? They're the ones that are blocking the kids from getting to class. They're the ones that are out there painting swastikas. They're the ones that are out there burning down churches. They're the ones, not all of them, but from that crew, right? The extremists. Because in that crew, in any crew, there are mentally disabled people that are influenced by all the rhetoric, right? And we've got a few on the left side, the gang members that go shoot up cops, right? Because they've listened to some rhetoric. Yeah, there's people all over the place. Yeah. So the rhetoric is bad on both sides. But then what happens is, because of those 20 million people, let's say there's 100 million Republicans, there's 100 million Democrats in this country, right? It's pretty 50-50, right? It's 45-45, and there's about 10% that flip a quarter. And I'm in that 10%. I was like, I'm close. I was with Hillary this time, but it was a reluctant Hillary vote. I voted for Bush. I voted for Obama. I voted for Ross Perot. I'm all over the fucking map. So you try to peg me, right? I'm not idealistic. I just, at that moment, I thought Hillary would be a better choice to run this country. I thought the deplorables were equal. If you're new to me, that you're all caught up. Okay. So you get 20 million people among the Republicans, maybe 20% of the Republicans, 10% of the entire nation are these truly deplorable folks. But then the Democrats, especially elitists, but even not the elitists, a lot of people I know from the inner city, that their idea of a Republican is either the racist cop that they've grown up with, fearing, or, so let me say, ones that are protesting with young, yes and no. Yes and no. My problem with protesting is that they're not respecting the peaceful transfer of power. And I'm going to wrap up with that, with my next point, and wrap up with that. But what happens is that on the Democrat side, they see that 20% of the Republican Party as the Republican Party. And so they lump all of the moderates and all the leadership. I do think there is a guilty stamp that the Republican Party has embraced those people to help them stay in power. I do have a problem with that. They rarely denounced, a few did, and many denounced Donald Trump along these lines. I think the entire Republican Party is to come out and say, okay, we won, let's be better losers. What we need less sore losers, we need less sore winners. We need less assholes and morons on both sides of the aisle. I served and believed anyone that disrespects the flag. I don't. And only because First Amendment. The American flag is a piece of cloth. Similarly, if you want to burn a Bible, it's a book. It's paper. Now, it does mean more to me when it's in my hand and when I'm thinking about it, right? As a Christian man. But if you're going to burn a Bible in protest, I'm going to respect your First Amendment right. I'm going to disagree with you, but I'm not going to hate you. You want to burn an American flag? And there's two reasons for that. Take away the colors, take away this whatever, right? It's cloth, it's paper. But the other side is take away the power. Take away your hate, and it takes away their power to affect you. The more hate and the more fear you have, the more their bullshit can affect you. When somebody says the N-word, the American president, thanks, Walt, this is what I will watch tonight. Oh, yeah, the American president, yay.
Michael J. Fox.
That's right. Michael J. Fox is in there. A lot of people in there. Michael Douglas. Just like many friends of mine who have come to terms with the N-word. I had a friend in college. I'm not going to repeat what he said, but he would basically take a deep breath and said, "This everybody." It was him and a bunch of white guys in the room. Okay, what everybody do is take a deep breath and go no 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 no. Basically say the word no 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 no. Okay, we're done. Great. That word has no power now. I've had black people like drunk on the train call me a cracker.
I'm sorry, that's hilarious.
It is. Well, it was one, not a lot. One black person, one guy. Yeah, Martin Sheen. Yeah, everybody's favorite. Martin Sheen. Oh, that's right. Martin Sheen's the chief of staff, right, or his vice president, or whatever. So this guy was drinking. Hey, cracker.
Sorry, I can't help it.
But that was one guy. The difference is though.
It's just hilarious. I'm sorry. I don't know. I probably shouldn't be laughing about it. It's just funny to me.
Probably called me a cracker. It was a rocket bottle. It was kind of drunk. Cracker. Honky. He was drunk. And he had clearly been through a lot in his life. He was an older gentleman. His pants were falling off pretty much. He's sitting down on the subway seat. And I was on my way to a rehearsal in Bronx at the Lehman College for an opera. And but he's not, both as there are assholes and morons in every group. And what you have to do is realize the only way we're going to defeat racism is everybody out there realizes you can't hold somebody accountable for the color of their skin. No. Brian, welcome to the party. I'm glad you were listening. But it goes both ways. People, just because there are white people that are racists out there, if you fear all white people, you're just as much part of the problem. It's okay. I was just defending, I am a disenfranchised Republican. I lean more, yes. Don't go into reverse racism right now. You're going to be part of the problem, not the solution. Yes. And there's a point there. No, That's not racist. It's hope for somebody. The same reason a lot of women wanted to vote for Hillary. Not as many, clearly. But many women wanted to vote for Hillary for the same reason. They feel cracking that glass ceiling, the whole reason to jab at center. I voted for Hillary. I'm a Republican. I'm registered GOP. I have hope that Trump is not going to do 90% of the shit that he promised all the assholes that he would do. Not all Trump supporters are deplorable. Not all Trump supporters are assholes and morons. A very small percentage are. But he promised the assholes and morons a lot of bullshit to get their vote. Like the wall, like deporting all the Muslims, like repealing Obamacare without something to put in there instead. I have faith that Donald Trump is going to be a good president, but not for the reason that most of his supporters think he is. I think what Donald Trump's about to do is say a major fuck you by working with Paul Ryan. Yeah, it was a different kind of wall. And it's a different time. Is the art of the deal. Yeah. So Brian is one of our deplorables. So not all Trump supporters are deplorable, but Brian clearly is. Oh, I see what you're saying. So start with the asshole suggestion and settle for the pussy suggestion, right? Is that basically, I'm trying to put things in terms that you're going to understand, Brian. Now, what my point is, there are protests out there, there are bigots out there, and not all Trump supporters are bigots, but Trump has empowered the asshole. The Art of the Deal, the book that Donald Trump didn't even write. Yes. Have I ever bought a car? All right.
Who said that?
Are you an Alex Jones listener?
Who said that?
This guy Brian. True. You listen to Alex Jones, right? I think I've met Brian on here before. Are you the same guy that like a few weeks ago said, "Have you ever listened to Alex Jones?" And I went on and tweeted, "Anybody with I listen to everyone." Clearly not. I think you listen to everyone on a certain side of the aisle, but you seem like the kind. Oh, okay. But you seem like the kind of person that made me want to leave the Republican Party. But I will say, in your defense, because most Democrats think all Republicans are like you, I didn't become a Democrat. I remained independent until this year. This year, I decided to rejoin the Republican Party because I figure too many of us have left the Republican Party. Too many of us have left the Republican Party, and vice versa. Too many independents left the Democratic Party. Are you an independent? Oh, because maybe you're just trying to have fun because we're online and whatnot. Because you're sounding like a deplorable alt-right person. You know, and it's like, and I understand it's for jokes. Hey, let's have fun. I don't think it's funny. Born, raised Democratic Union, left it. Yeah, I was born and raised Republican and became an independent. I voted for Hillary, but I'm not 15. No, I'm not. Okay, I don't know. I can't keep up. Oh, not jokes. Okay. So, Ayers and Bernie is still an option for president. Would you vote? Yes, I would have. Are you asking me or them? I was pro Bernie. I gave Bernie money. Bernie was the first politician I've ever given money to. I'm an actor. I'm a Republican actor, so I'm in the minority here. My dad believes vote Dem every time. My dad's the same way Republican. My dad votes straight Republican. And I've never understood that. My dad has never voted for a Democrat in his life. A union guy, okay. Did he vote Democrat this time though? Because a lot of those old union guys are what pushed Trump pushed him over the ledge. You know, there were just enough of those union guys in the sticks, Pennsylvania, Michigan, and other places. Oh God. If you want to learn all that shit, go research it. I'm not here to defend Hillary. I wasn't here to put down Trump. I was trying to come here to bring the country back together, but clearly, Brian, you want to continue to attack. You won, you fucking asshole. So I can't. I can't what?
Literally.
Huh? I can't what? Fuck?
Literally, I can't.
I can't. Yeah.
Literally.
Yeah. So
Sorry,
we're gonna just ignore Brian, and I'm just gonna look at the camera and continue what I was going. So what we need to do, literally, I can't. Yeah. What we need to do is come together as a country. I was here to say I'm glad Obama said what he said. I'm glad that Obama and Hillary and everyone else is coming together to support Donald Trump's transition. They're not necessarily supporting his policies, but they are supporting, make America great again, so Brian can think he's a smart fucking asshole. All right, so MAGA. You know what MAGA sounds like? Maggots. So, see, Brian is part of the problem, and I want to be part of the solution. So what I'm going to do is not let him get me mad. But you know what? The name of my blog is Angry in the Middle, because I'm an independent. And the reason I'm angry in the middle, both these assholes were bad choices. You think Donald Trump was a good choice? You think Hillary Clinton was an easy choice for me? You think Donald Trump was a good idea? You're out there saying, ooh, I'm proud I voted for Donald Trump. I can respect you saying I voted for Donald Trump because I hate Hillary. I can respect the opposite. I can't respect anyone that said, I voted for Donald Trump because I think he's really a good idea for this country. I can't respect any asshole that did that. I can respect you for flipping the coin and saying Donald Trump is the lesser of two evils in this situation. I, in that moment, thought Hillary was the lesser of two evils. And I think anybody else that's farther to the left or right of that, I can't have a conversation with you because you're so far up your own fucking ass. Your head is so far up your ass. Thank you. Donald's on my side now. No. What we need to do, if you're an asshole, stop being an asshole. If you're a moron, educate yourself. If you're a bigot, stop holding people accountable for their religion and their race or their sex. Attack people for what they do, not because of who they are. And even when a black man mugs you, it's not because he's black, because he's a fucking asshole. There are assholes and morons of every race, and there are a lot of fucking white assholes out there. In fact, I know more white assholes than any other kind of asshole. So I am an asshole out of defense, so there's that.
You're not an asshole.
Trailer parks, yeah. But I know a lot of great people in the trailer parks, too.
What do you know from a trailer park?
I don't know many people in the trailer park. I'm told you can get a cheap hooker in a trailer park. I don't know. I don't know anything.
Wait. Is somebody tell me?
I'm just making shit up at this point. Which is, But I'm making shit up from a place in my own living room where it's not going to affect the world. Donald Trump's making shit up left and right. But you know what? Now, there are a couple crazy nutbags around him like Giuliani and Chris Christie. But he is assembling a team, and he is working with Obama. And I believe, if you notice, Donald Trump in the last 2 weeks, and I'm reaching out, I voted for Hillary. I'm reaching out as much, what we need, if you're out there doing stupid shit, emboldened by Donald Trump winning, stop. If you're out there saying stupid shit because you're afraid of what Donald Trump might do, and this is what the point I was trying to get around to before Brian interrupted us, right? Here's the problem. There's way too much fucking speculation going on. And there has been way too much speculation going on for about 18 months. For every minute of real news and information that meant anything, there were hours and hours. It's not just because of the media. It's everybody. It's not just because of the media. The media is a big part of the blame because they are supposed to inform us, right? The media did more time speculating. You know why? Because the media is not media. The media, now part of the problem is the politicians on either side are afraid of the media because the media is going to take one little thing, twist it out of proportion. It's not a liberal thing. It's not a right-wing thing. Alex Jones, Rush Limbaugh, it's not that they're so much crazy. They just know talking crazy shit makes them money. But the same thing on the left side. Going out there saying that they're all racists sells. Going out there saying that they're all people that just want to take every last tax dollar instead of work on the right side sells tickets, sells advertising, gets millions of people to watch. So you can blame the media for capitalizing or blame the millions of people that are out there blindly following whatever preacher or radio guy or TV guy or gal or newspaper that's spewing. And most of the time they're not even spewing lies. They're twisting one little truth into propaganda. I don't know the last time I watched real news. I watched people in Ferguson, right, with their microphones, trying not to get mustard gassed or, whatever. And just like, oh, they might be coming this way. Oh, they're coming this way. Oh, the cops are saying we should leave. There's no news. The problem is we have 24 hours to fill, and we have way too many people trying to fill them. We have a radio station, hundreds of radio stations, trying to fill 24 hours with crap. We have, what's my point? Too many words? Yeah. My point is we need to stop speculation. Not just the media. We need to stop sitting around. What's going to happen? Is the world going to end now that Donald Trump's elected president? Oh my God. Everything. I've watched hours and hours of news and just since Donald Trump was elected. And there's no news. It's all, well, who do you think is to blame? Why do you think Donald Trump won? The MSM are professional agent provocateurs. MSM. It's everybody out there that are just talking, myself included. I'm here to say, let's talk about how can we fix the problem. Oh, mainstream media, yeah. Mainstream media is not the problem. Alt-right media is as much to blame or more to blame for everything. The mainstream media, the problem with the mainstream media, they're not great. So assholes and morons go to the alt-right media. They go to Rush Limbaugh. They go to Alex Jones. They go to Mark Levine. Because the mainstream media is mediocre at best. Not because they're too liberal. They're just not great. Oh, I do. Exactly. Yeah, you got to do your own homework. Or change the channel once in a while. I mostly listen to MSNBC because I could stand their people the best. Not all the time. Not all the time. But more often than not, I'll watch MSNBC and I could sift through the liberal bullshit and get to what's really going on. Because I think MSNBC, more often than not, they're not all thugs. They're not all thugs. Be careful with the word thugs. You're starting to use those code words, Annie, that makes me think that you are of a certain type of Trump supporter. I'd be careful of labels. And that's my biggest message. Labels. Racists. Not all Trump supporters are racists. But quite a few are. Not a majority. You never said what I said before. But you gotta be careful with your words. Don't mischaracterize my words. I'm sorry, you're talking about thugs. There are protesters. And in every one of these protests in Charlotte and Ferguson, there have been actual thugs that used it as a cover to stir shit up. Because for a drug dealer, all this stuff going on out there, keeping the cops busy, perpetuating a lot of crap, is good for them. But you know what? They are just as much to blame. They are just as much to blame. But the person that goes out there and sees that one thug and then loops all those thousands of protesters that just want to stop seeing their friends get shot in the street because they're black. Oh, I do. No, I do. I totally understand group dynamics mentally. Yeah, I totally understand it. Because there's a lot of anger out there. There's a lot of anger out there. I'm speaking. Do you understand that in group dynamics, there's a lot of anger out there. One individual could stir up hundreds and thousands, right? There are hundreds and thousands of people out there that want peaceful protest, but they want protest and they want to be heard. I've been a part of many of those protests. You're right. We're saying the same thing. But see, my problem is, and again, it might just be your choice of words that I'm having problem with. Nomenclature. But I think that's a big part of the problem. The word thug. Were the guys that took over the federal property in Oregon, were they thugs? I think they were. Who's paying thugs to start violence? They're paid. No, they're actual criminals that profit when shit goes south. They're no better than the lobbyists in D.C. that profiteer. No worse either, in my mind. That profit off of the pain and suffering.
I think they were talking about like the people that whole conspiracy that Hillary hired people to go.
Yeah.
And
it's a conspiracy theory, and I'm guessing.
They were casting notices for Donald Trump.
Yeah.
People to do the same thing.
Yeah, both sides do that kind of shit. Both sides use paid assholes. Not all the assholes are paid. I don't think the guy going USA was a paid Trump supporter. I think he was just an asshole Trump supporter. Now, it could be there are Trump supporters out there thinking that every bad Trump supporter was an undercover Clinton agent. Is that what I'm getting out of this? I am here to say what I want, what I need, what this country needs is for the extremists on both sides to come back to the center. I'm angry in the middle because I'm tired of your bullshit on both sides. On both sides. And until that happens, we can't move forward. But I think I honestly believe what Donald Trump's about to do is about to shock a lot of those crazy Donald Trump supporters. I'm not saying all Donald Trump supporters are crazy. I'm talking about the crazy ones. Like, oh my God, Donald Trump's going to give us everything we needed. You know what Donald Trump's about to do? Donald Trump's about to reach across the aisle and compromise and do what the Republican Congress has refused to do for 6 months, 6 years. Donald Trump is about to reach across the aisle.
I think so.
Yeah, I really do believe so. He's talking to Chuck Schumer already. He's talking to Pelosi. He's going to make everybody fucking sit down and talk. And I think what he's about to do is going to piss off his own supporters more than Hillary's. But time will tell. But you know what I just did? I speculated. Why don't we wait till he actually takes office? We're protesting shit. Now, people are protesting because they're scared shitless because of all the stupid shit he said in the last 18 months. So he has to take ownership of that. The bigots are writing swastikas everywhere and blocking kids from going to school and yelling the N-word and saying, we're going to build a wall, or saying, get off, go back to your country, or grabbing headpieces off of Muslim men and women. Those assholes. I'm not saying you're an asshole or moron for supporting Trump. No. Farthest from it.
Well, you'd be calling your parents that name.
I'm not. My parents voted for Trump. I've questioned some of the things they've said, as maybe they're not as non-racist as I thought they were. But are they racist, or are they just like approaching 70 and from an era where white people talked about that, not realizing how racist it is? Like, the little white lie, little white racist stuff, not like, But I think at the same time, my friends in the inner city need to stop linking people like my parents. They say, oh, it's racist. And I feel like as soon as you do that, like, yeah, you could say the society definitely favors the white man more so than the white woman, or more so than any other color of skin, and that needs to change. It needs to be equal footing for everybody. And my feeling is anybody who says other than that can go fuck themselves. But there's a lot of ignorance outside the cities that don't realize the pain that goes on inside the city, but also vice versa. Inner city doesn't realize the pain that people have felt out there with the auto industry and everything else. The jobs, the steel, the coal. Hillary Clinton said some stupid shit about coal. I believe ultimately we need to go green. I believe ultimately we need to go. You still rolling up there?
Yeah.
Ultimately, we do need to go into clean energy. We need to go green. We need more windmills. We need more solar power. But you need to do it realizing, okay, a lot of the Koch brothers are a bunch of assholes, right? But the people that work for them need a job. The people that work for them. You want to just go destroy the Koch brothers. Okay, destroy the Koch brothers. But that's going to put a lot of people out of work. Protect millions. The people that work for them, and the people that are going to be out of work, because when those companies go out of business, that's going to put other companies out of business. You can't, and this is the far left, the far left, the environmentalists, right? The far left socialists, the far left burn your bus types. You're equally part of the problem. In your endeavors to save the world, you're creating animosity. Your motivations are more admirable than the motivations of the racist assholes. But you're equally an asshole. And until you start having empathy for the other side, until everybody starts having empathy for the other side, nothing's going to change. And it doesn't matter who's president. All right, guys.